welcome back. It is June 20th, 2023, and it's been a little while since I've been able to make one of these garden tour videos, but I'm happy to be back here with you all today to show you all what's going on in the garden and all of the progress that Kyle and I have made on things since the last time that I did one of these. Tomorrow is the summer solstice, and as much as I would have loved to have shot this tour on the actual summer solstice and spent time out in the garden that day, Kyle and I are going out of town for a week starting tomorrow, and so I really wanted to make sure that I got out here today to record a tour for you all since I didn't have the chance to do one last month. May ended up being a super busy month for me with school and traveling and other stuff. And while I was able to get some footage of the garden throughout the month, I wasn't able to actually sit down and film or record a tour. So this month I'm doing a combined May and June just to show you all what's been going on. Last month we had some really beautiful weather here in Portland, and Kyle and I were able to spend a lot of time outside here in the garden, planting our vegetables, doing some maintenance and pruning and some building of things. So I'm really excited to show you all the progress that we've made. So much new stuff is growing, and it's starting to look like a real garden again. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh yeah. I mean, we could just take them all out and see which ones have roots. Start off today just by saying that there's been a ton of crow action in our neighborhood today, and some jay action. You can see those scrub jays up there. At the top of that tree over there have been a bunch of crows all day kind of swooping around and cawing, and I walked over there to try and see what it was, but I couldn't see anything with my binoculars. I would assume a hawk of some kind, but I'm actually using, Luka, what a little baby. I'm actually using a new microphone that Kyle got me today, so I'm not sure how much of the background noise you can even hear, but if you hear a lot of crows, that's why. So, we got Luka. I got a little libation to celebrate. Okay, it's not in focus, but whatever. Celebrate the video. And look, the sun is coming out for us. Pfft. Nice. Okay. Well, this is what things are looking like. It's just so green and colorful and lush. I just am so in love with how things are looking right now. Everything is coming in. All of this beautiful honeysuckle. and the hosta flowers. I need to cut this down. I'm not exactly sure what kind of tree that is, but it's gotta go. Look at these. So pretty. And the honeysuckle. The hummingbirds have just been loving it. Maybe I have some footage I can drop in of the hummingbirds. Over here, the camellia is done flowering, but I'm just like so happy with how it did this year with all this new growth. It seemed like last year it didn't really grow any new leaves, so it's nice to see that this year. This hosta is gigantic. It's also about to flower. And then you can see something has just been like having a field day, nibbling away at this. I suspect a slug, probably. Down here, I don't yet see any sign of the begonias, I don't think. Oh my god, look at that. Oh! But we'll see. Coming over to this side, the flower bed. It's just nice and lush now. It's so lush, and there aren't too many flowers that have actually, bloomed yet. Not really any, but you can tell they're on their way. These tall ones are all the gladiolus flowers. These are all the Euclayptus spiccatas. I planted more of these gladiolus flowers right here by the honeysuckle because the hummingbirds just love them, and once these bloom, the hummingbirds will kind of go back and forth between the honeysuckle and the gladiolus flowers, and it's just so precious. I'm not sure what these are, but they flower eventually. I tried to come through earlier within the last couple weeks, and I chopped just a bunch of like the new growth down. My hope is that doing that will like make the plants grow more bushy and less tall, because this is kind of the first year I've ever done that, and normally the flowers just get like super tall. Oh, I don't know what this is, but look at these little like pink flowers about to bloom. And over here you can see the Euclayptus are a little bit farther along. This is a dahlia that, again, I came through and kind of like chopped the top off of. You can see like that's where I chopped it. And then that way the plant puts more energy into these side shoots rather than just growing straight up. And again, that eventually will make it more bushy rather than like tall. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I came through and got as much of this grass out as I could. I kind of, not over here, but more right over here. I kind of decided I did as much as I could right now, and maybe in the fall I'll come through and just like do a really heavy like mulch or weed barrier. Over here, the irises are done. I hope I have some footage I can add in of the irises after they bloomed, because they were very beautiful this year, but they just don't last super long. I heard recently, I can't remember if it was through a book I was reading or a YouTube video or what, but they were talking about flowers and how every few years it's a good idea to separate some of your bulbs like irises to give them more space. And I just thought it was so funny to hear them say that, given that that's been on my to-do list for like the last year. But it made me, feel pretty good about like doing that maybe this fall, and knowing that it was a couple years ago when I first dug them up and replanted them here. So it's probably about time to do that again. So you can see that we actually moved some things around and built some stuff. Kyle put up a new archway. This side of the yard is pretty much the same, but we moved the eucalyptus that was here over to that area. And then over here we have some flowers. These are some of the chrysanthemums that I separated. This is some clover. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I'm fine leaving it for now because these mums are going to get quite big, so I'm not worried about them being like overcrowded. We moved this apple tree over here, and then all of this St. John's wort has been blooming over the last couple weeks now. When we came through and did a lot of gardening last month, these were getting ready to bloom, but I wasn't sure what they were at the time. And since then, I've been able to look them up, and yeah, it's St. John's wort. We've got some apples here. Whoa. Oh, and look at that sun coming out. I finally went ahead and removed the rock that was covering a branch that I was trying to like layer and propagate, and unfortunately I'm not sure what happened, but there actually weren't really any roots to be able to like propagate the branch, so I ended up just cutting them away. And I think, you know, it's kind of for the best because the shape of these trees has gotten kind of awkward, and so Kyle and I are kind of in a phase now where we're trying to like figure out how we want to keep them pruned and shaped while we're still here and they're still in these pots, so we'll see. But yeah, we moved it over to this area. Over here, this is our garden bed. We've got some new vegetables planted. This is a jalapeno, another jalapeno, ooh, an Anaheim chili pepper, a Roma tomato, a different kind of tomato, and a cucumber, and our peas. Oh my god, look at that. There's one right there. We've got this cool trellis here in the back for the peas to climb up. This is something we also got to be able to shade the plants when it's like super sunny, because we get like hours and hours of direct sun out here. So if it's really hot, we'll cover up the plants with the burlap just to give them a little bit of shade. But we're really happy with these peas. They're just sugar and snap peas, because last year we planted some. We tried to grow them up over this archway, and it was right before we had like, you know, 100-degree heat wave here in Portland, and they just didn't make it, unfortunately. But this year they seem to be doing really well. Our blueberries. This is one of 3 blueberry plants that we have. The idea with this cucumber plant is that it will eventually grow up over this archway that mostly Kyle, I helped, but we just put this together last month. In the past, we've had really good luck with cucumbers, so I'm hoping that they start to take off and go up and over. The mugwort is looking good. I'm not sure what these flowers are. Do any of you know? I've been seeing them in our neighbor's yard too, but they're cute. They were one of the first to bloom this spring, so it's been nice having them around. Ooh, now the sun is really starting to come out. In this garden bed, we've got a zucchini plant, and then our neighbor planted some things as well. I think that's another jalapeno and an eggplant and some basil, but unfortunately the basil doesn't seem to be it hasn't really grown much, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. I'm not sure what kind of flower this is, but we have them here in the yard. Oh my gosh, it's so sunny now, I can't believe that. And they're really interesting looking when they actually bloom, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. And then we kind of we cleared out this area, so now it's much more accessible back here, and we have these ones all lined up. This is an oregano that was here in the garden bed, but we moved it out here to put it in its own pot. It's obviously going to flower. one of our pear trees and some flowers in there. I was looking earlier today and I don't really see any like fruit on these, but you know what, I'm just happy that there's leaves for now. Like I said, I don't really care for pears, so I'm not too bummed about that. But some more blueberries in here. Our other apple. Oh, and this yarrow. This apple. Oh, I thought maybe I saw a fruit on here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, so like there's one, but it hasn't really gotten much bigger. I wonder if it got like fried. We got some pretty warm weather last month. Yeah, so there were some, but we'll see if they actually grow or not. Another blueberry. Gorgeous. Let me see if I can get in there. More blueberries. And then this is the other pear tree. I don't really see any fruit on that one either. That's okay. So this is what the yard is looking like over here from this angle. It's so much nicer and cleaned out. There's a bunch of thistle you can see popping up, and it's mostly coming from the other side of the fence here. Kyle and I were saying we might actually just go over there and pick it for them, because they don't, this is just a parking lot, so like there's not people out here gardening normally. But we also noticed this, oh no, I don't remember, it's called like old man something, some man something thing. I'll put the name of it on there, but this like vining plant is going really crazy back here, and we kind of just decided that we're gonna let it do that, and maybe it'll block out some of the thistle. And then there's also this other vining purple flower. I looked up the names of these last month and now I don't remember what they are, but I'll add it in. But I just think it's so cute the way it's like climbing up the fence. Over here we've got some more St. John's wort, and we also moved our magnolia over here. And when we did a bunch of yard work last month, we gave all of the trees a lot of really good compost and fertilizer to, yeah, we're thinking that, you know, I mean, it was about time. It'd been a while since we'd done that for the potted plants. So I'm hoping that that helps this magnolia stay healthy. Even though it didn't blossom this year, the leaves are looking good. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Look how big that thing is. Whoa! Down here, oh, I just noticed this. This, I believe, is self-heal, I think is what the name of this plant is. And I think it has that name because it's medicinal, but I don't remember right now what its uses are for. Some more yarrow. Another look from over here. I hope you can hear some of these birds. Maybe I'll take my mic off so you guys can hear them. I've been using this app that was from Cornell University, I think, to identify bird calls. I will put the name in the video because it's freaking awesome. I use it every day. I would guess those are finches, but I'm not sure. So over here, we've got some new things. I don't know if I pointed this out last time I did this, but there's a bunch of new eucalyptus shoots growing from the bottom of this. And I'm really happy about it because the tree, as I've mentioned, we haven't done the best job at like keeping it pruned so that it's more of a shrub shape. And so I'm feeling like these are going to give me a second chance to do that, because it's going to get more bushy from the bottom, and then we're in business. The mint's all coming back. These are some more flowers down here. Some kind of daisy, it looks like. More yarrow. The carnations are blooming. I mean, that one's old, but they're blooming. Looking nice. And then up here, we've got strawberries. I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strawberries in all of these. And I completely redid all of the compost in here, so it's nice and fresh, because it was just completely overrun with like weeds. We got a few different types of strawberries. I don't have the tag over here. We've got strawberry fresca, quinault, everbearing strawberry, and then oh, it's right here. It was hiding. Oh, Albion strawberries. And then up here, I planted this vinca, I believe is what it's called. It has these beautiful purple flowers. Ooh, I can't really see, it's too sunny, but I think you can see them there. Look at how pretty. I just wanted something that will like fill out this container to block out all the weeds, and then create something that just looks a little bit nicer. And it seems to be doing super well, thankfully. But here's the thing with the strawberries. I planted them because I thought that putting the strawberries in the containers would allow them to like grow crazy, grow tons of roots, grow new shoots and things, and that over time that would block out like the weeds and stuff from growing, because that's been just a constant problem that we've had with these containers. And I've since come to realize or think about like two different things. One is I'm not actually sure if strawberries grow and spread that quickly. I think in my mind I was thinking of the way that like mint grows, for instance, and mint like is just, I don't want to say notorious because I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it spreads really well and is really good at blocking out other plants like weeds because of how quickly it like grows sideways and shoots up, which is what I wanted in these containers. Now that I think about it though, I'm not sure if I actually have heard that that's what strawberries do. And then secondly, another thing that I've noticed since we planted these is that as much as we humans love and are allured by strawberries and their wonderful taste, so are the rats. And since I've planted these, I've noticed a rat kind of hanging out in our yard. All right, well, my phone ran out of storage, so I had to go grab Kyle's. I'll make this fast. But basically, I'm having an issue with the rats eating the strawberries, and I had used some of this too to like cover them up. Oh, it's hard to do with one hand. Kind of like this to try and keep them out. I don't really know, and then also to shade them. I don't really know how much that's gonna help, and in hindsight, I mean, I need to look into it a little bit more, but something, now that I do think about it, what I do know about strawberries from other gardeners I've seen, like Katrina at Homegrown Garden, is that she keeps all of her strawberries like in kind of a cage type thing, kind of similar to what we have around our garden bed. And she does that because of the rats and other, animals. So in hindsight, you know, I'm just not sure actually if this is a good place for them, as cute as they would be, just with like the practicality of not wanting to attract rats. Like rats, they're a common thing here in the city, and like, you know, I get it. They like strawberries just like we do, but I don't really want to attract them more than they already are. And if in the future Kyle and I were to move, for instance, I don't want to leave like a rat attracting thing here for the next person. So I'm going to spend some more time looking into it and decide what we want to do. But I mean, in the meantime, they're looking good and the beds are nice and fresh, so maybe I can just go get more like flowering things like that vinca. Okay, and I think with that, I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter today. I'm not going to do a front yard tour, just with the timing and the fact that now I'm on Kyle's phone and I don't want to take up the rest of the storage he has on his phone. So here's one last look at how things are here towards the end of June 2023. I'm super excited to see how things continue to shape up over the next few months, and as all the flowers start to come into bloom, and excited to show you all what it looks like and bring you along for the ride. So thanks so much. Have a lovely summer solstice, and until next time, take care.